Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is a what sold video. This is actually part one. So this video is going to be 18 items that sold on Poshmark in approximately the last month for me. They were all $40 and over. So these are just kind of some of my higher dollar sales. And then in a couple days, I'll have a video of, I think, 20 something items that also sold for kind of a high dollar amount for me on eBay. I cross-list everything to both platforms. So any of these could kind of sell on either platform. I think it's just helpful to share what brands are doing well for me. And also specifically some of the items that maybe the brand doesn't interest you, but the items actually did pretty well. And I'll get to that in a second. But if you are new here and you aren't subscribed, that's my dog Luna. Sometimes she likes to join in on the videos. She was also wondering why I sat on the floor half the time. But my name is Courtney. I sell on eBay and Poshmark as a full-time reseller. And if you are interested in that kind of content, feel free to hit this little subscribe button down below. I'm super close to 20,000. And so I'm just excited about that. And if you like this video and like the what sold videos, definitely before you leave, be sure before you leave to hit the thumbs up. I'll leave that in just for entertainment purposes. I very much appreciate the thumbs up. It always means a lot to me. So, all right, so jumping in, I put these in no particular order. These are 18 items. The total sale price for all of these was $1,139. And the average sale price of all these items was $63. So definitely some that sold for over 100 and some that sold for only 40, but that average price is definitely a great return. Keep in mind, my average sale price for all of my sales in general is around that $25 mark. So I do have low dollar sales because I like to pick up a variety of things, and I also have high dollar sales. So Luna is clearly over the video already. So with that, the first item is actually a mall brand. And if you want to see any of the brands, like you'll recognize this one, but some of these brands might be new to you or the details I share, I'll definitely be sure to list all the details down in the description in case you want to check those out. Or you can check out my closet anytime. That's linked below as well. But this was a mall brand and it surprisingly sold for $100. And it was a J. Crew jacket, a men's jacket. The style was the Mayfair. It was a cashmere wool blend and kind of a black button front. Just a really classic jacket. That sold for $100. And I got this in a ThredUp men's box. So if you've ever watched any of my ThredUp videos, you may know that I definitely preferred the men's boxes. They were a little bit cheaper because my dog is hitting the tripod. They were a little bit cheaper, and also because they don't sell men's items, it wasn't going to be sorted through. So I just had better luck with it. I also do like to pick up men's stuff occasionally, so I'm a little bit more familiar with it than if you don't sell men's items at all. But this was a great item to get. I didn't realize at the time when I opened the box that it was going to be such high value. But when I looked up comps, I realized, oh, I'm going to price this at $124 and hope for something about $80 to $100. And it did sit for about 6 months, but it is just the beginning of winter. And it sold for $100. It was a size large for men's. And I believe there was a small flaw even on the back on the fabric, and I just noted it. So anyways, I was really excited about that sale. Definitely paid for the box and then some. And those boxes are hit or miss, so I don't necessarily say, run out and get them if you are wanting $100 items to be in there, but occasionally you do get a good find. So, all right, next up was a Joie, a brand that is pretty expensive, but doesn't have the highest resale value for me at least. This was a dress that was a black velvet. It was a one shoulder or one off the shoulder mini velvet dress. I think it was called the Kolda. This was a size extra small and it sold for $40. This actually came in a B&G trading box. It's the only box that I got from them. I did not really enjoy my experience with them or the stuff. This was actually one of the better items. So $40 is not bad, but I also got a lot of items that didn't sell for more than 15. So I was happy it finally sold. That also took about 6 months to sell. And I'm happy if it's off to a new home. Maybe they're going to do something fun for the holidays. But yeah. Next up is a Theory jacket. This is actually something I did pick up. This was the Dafina Saxton wool car coat. It was a beautiful shade of kind of a nude blush pink. It was a little oversized, so it was a size small, but it definitely could have worked for a size medium. Just a very classic piece. If it were my size, I would have kept it. That's how much I loved it. But that sold for $100 within a day of listing. I didn't get a note, or I didn't see a note come in, but it may have been from someone who watches this YouTube channel, because it did sell on the day that the haul was live. So if you are watching and you did purchase it, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the jacket. It was one of my favorite pickups recently. So, all right, next up was a Perla Nightgown. When I first picked this up, I thought it was a dress. It definitely had dress vibes, like it could have easily been worn as a little black dress. But when I looked up the brand, I realized it was a lingerie company, a pretty expensive one. And this sold in a bundle of 3 items. There was a pair of shorts, designer shorts, and I believe a theory dress. So the 3 items on all of my Poshmark bundles, it automatically offers a 30% discount. I just have it automatically applied. And so I priced this at $99, this specific dress. And with the discount, it came down to $69, and it sold very quickly. So this actually sold to someone who did leave me a note that does watch these videos. So Audrey, thank you so much. She actually purchased this bundle, and then the next day purchased, I believe it was a 10-item bundle. And so lots of stuff were sent her way, and I hope she enjoys everything. Thank you. I really appreciate all the support. And anyway, and you had some fun stuff. So. All right, next up was a pair of shoes. This was a pair of men's Doc Martens. I believe the style was the Brogue Wingtip. This had a lot of interest. I picked these up probably, man, it may have been over a year. I picked these up at a yard sale in my town, which I live in a very rural area, and I don't typically pick up a lot of clothing because it's not a fashionable area. Occasionally I'll pick up something Harley or something kind of, not Western, but you know, because we do have a lot of like ranches and stuff here, but I don't typically find a lot of clothes. I picked these up. I think I paid up for them just because I've had decent luck with Doc Martens. And they did take a while to sell, but they sold for $60. They were men's size 8, and definitely a great return. Didn't take too much for me to photograph them or do any work. So happy about that. Next up was a pair of sweatpants for men, which is funny that there's so many men items. I do have a couple more later on. So yeah, a lot of my high dollar items in this group were men's items, which is interesting to me because it's probably only about 10% of my sales is men's. But this was by a designer named John Elliott. I actually just a couple days ago picked up another piece by John Elliott. So we'll see how that one does. But these sweatpants sold for $85. They were a men's size large. They were just black jogger pants, nothing too fancy. But very happy about that. Hopefully the other item does well. And yeah. All right, next up was a pair of ankle boots by the brand Vionic. These were the Serena ankle boots. I believe they were kind of a gray color. And these were a size 10, so definitely a good size, not a size I pick up that I find all that often. And I do find that I have pretty decent luck with some of the larger sizes. This is kind of just on that cusp, but 10s and 11s, if it's in good condition and a brand I like, I usually have decent luck with it. But this sold to someone from YouTube as well. So I don't do direct sales. Usually it's just I get a comment sometimes saying that they did see this in a YouTube haul. And so Jen, thank you. I hope you enjoy the new boots, especially for the fall and winter that we're in. It was definitely my first time picking up that brand, and she actually got them full price. So they ended up selling for $59. The dog wants to drink water, right? So she has no concept of videos. So those sold for full price of $59. Definitely appreciative of the support. And they were, I've actually just picked up Vionic again. So they're a pair of sandals. I'm gonna get those listed soon and we'll see how those do as well. All right, next up are 2 frame items, which I'm only seeing it in my list that they're right next to each other, but they didn't sell to the same person or even within the same week. But the first up was a pair of black denim jeans. These were the Lehigh skinny black jeans. So one thing I've learned about Frame is most of the items I get between $30 and $50. High Rise has done better for me and obviously in good condition. So those sold, they were size 27 and they sold for $40 and they sold within a couple months. So definitely not a bad pickup. Next frame item was a sequin sweater. This was a gray sequin sweater. I picked this up probably about 4 or 5 months ago and the comps looked great for it. So I did price a little bit high. It ended up selling for $47. It was a size small and yeah, I was happy about that. So, All right, next up was a jacket. This was by the brand Elizabeth and James. This was a kind of an olive green military style. The button, kind of just the buttons on the front had it wasn't asymmetrical, but it just kind of looped a little bit. I don't know if that's really the right word. It had a belt. It was kind of a above the knee length jacket. Really great classic piece. That sold for $85. And that did take a while. That probably took close to a year to sell. And it was a size 4, but it just needed the right buyer. And I was definitely happy to get that offer that day. I think I had it priced about $99. So definitely a great sale there. Also, I did learn, and I want to say it was Posh Boss Blake, one of the last times I saw him, which was probably close to a year ago. Hey, if you're watching, he told me that Elizabeth and James, they do have a line at, I want to say Kohl's. You guys can leave in the comments if you guys know. But it is a brand that I'm a little bit more picky about because I'm not quite sure how to identify which is the cheaper line sold at the cheaper store and which is kind of the higher end line. So just wanted to throw that out there in case you didn't know. And I didn't look it up or verify, but I just try and keep an eye on it at the moment. So, all right, next up was a Free People item. I typically don't have too much luck with Free People. Most items for Free People for me sell between $15 and $25. They've got cute styles. I pick it up if it's cheap, but this actually came in that B&G trading box. So it was kind of new without tags. It was super, super soft. The style was the main squeeze sweater. And this was a size large. It sold for $44. Again, it took probably about 6 months to sell. But it was kind of I believe it was like a light pink. And I have had pretty decent luck with Free People light pink sweaters. Kind of oversized and comfy and all of that. So yeah. All right, next up was a Lululemon. It was the Daily Yoga Jacket. This was a size 6 and it sold for $40. So Lululemon, I know there's fanatics out there who know a lot about it. I pick it up if it's in good condition, if it's cheap enough. A lot of Lululemon for me gets, you know, isn't astronomical. I know there are more rare pieces, but this was kind of just a classic basic jacket and it did take a while. It took, you know, 5 or 6 months to sell. So yeah. All right, next up was a pair of men's shoes by the designer Bruno Magli. And these were the Kirby loafers. I picked these up. They sold within a couple days. They were $9.50 for men's and they sold for $50. I want to say that I may have mismarked it at first and someone asked are these women's or men's and then I had to go in and change it. And, you know, I list sometimes late at night, so I do make mistakes. But yeah, so that sold and for a good return. So, all right, next up was a pair of boots that honestly, I'm kind of bummed that they sold because I was this close to pulling it from my inventory for just me to keep. They took about 1.5 years to sell. They were Sorels. I clearly priced too high. And I don't know, I mean, it was a while ago. I don't know why I priced and why I didn't adjust pricing, but these were tan black. They were size 9. They ended up selling for $70, so definitely a great return. They were gently used, really good condition, but I was this close to pulling them so I could use them this winter, but I'm glad they sold. I'd rather get the money. So I have a lot of winter boots. I don't need any more. All right, next up was a polo shirt for men, and this was by the brand Mr. Turk. This is Trina Turk's husband's line, or was. This was just orange. It was fun. It wasn't extra small and I was a little nervous about that, but it sold within a couple days for $50 and I've had some decent luck with that brand. So I'll definitely pick that up in the future. Next up, I think this might have been my highest sale out of this list for $120. It was a pair of men's boots and it was by Tods, which is a pretty high-end designer. These were Chelsea boots. They were an 11.5. They've been sitting for probably over a year and I did pay up for these. I paid about $20 for these. So, but they sold for $120. I was really excited to get those moved out. And yeah, anytime something's sitting for that long and you get a good return, you're like, okay, it was worth it, you know? And I don't adjust my pricing too often. I'm just too lazy partly and I just have a big inventory. So yeah, but all right, only a couple more. Next up is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Maurizio Taiuti. I had this in a recent haul. It was it had real fur. It was this kind of animal, the print was kind of an animal print. And I believe it was kind of an orange, really great fall piece. That sold for $40. The comps were kind of all over the place, but it was just a fun bag, and I am glad it went pretty quickly. I think it sold within a couple weeks, so. And then the last item was actually a flawed item, but it was Johnny Was. It was a size large, but it definitely ran a little small. It was a button front. I guess I always gauge it with, I have a hard time with button front shirts, and it would not close for me just because of the chest. So I did note in the description that it ran small, but it was a size large. It had a couple small holes in the back. I noted it. It still sold for $40 very quickly. And so yeah, so that's 18 items with an average sale price of $63. I definitely find a variety, but I do like sharing some of these in case they are new brands for you, or even some of those mall brands that are just kind of a surprising good sale. So anyways, before you leave, be sure to hit the thumbs up if you like these videos. I always appreciate it. And stay tuned. In a couple days, there will be more sales on eBay that hopefully will be helpful as well. So I will see you there. Bye.